Chapter 6 of God Died at 3 o'clock by Reverend Gerald T. Brennan. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Maria Therese. Crucify him! Pontius Pilate had been the Roman governor of Palestine for many years. He is a hard ruler, and at times he is very cruel. But always he has a secret worry, the fear that the Jews may turn against him. If this should happen, the emperor in far-off Rome might take away Pilate's governorship. Pilate worries because the Jews demand that Christ be put to death. He believes that Jesus is innocent, but Caiaphas and the chief leaders of the Jews are very determined on Christ's death. If Pilate will not give in to them, they may plot against him. Jesus says that he is a king. The Jews, if refused Christ's death, might tell the emperor that Pilate is protecting a new king. This would mean the end of Pilate. Now the Jews and their prisoner have returned to his courtyard. Pilate is disappointed. He had hoped that King Herod would settle the problem of Jesus, but that ruler is too clever to get himself caught in this dangerous affair. Pilate knows that it is up to him to deal with Jesus. On him alone will fall the praise or blame for whatever happens to the prisoner. Standing on the balcony, Pilate once more listens to the crowd shouting for Christ's death. Their angry cries frighten the governor, but finally he raises his hand for silence. "You accuse this man of many things," he says as he points his finger toward Christ, "but he is not guilty of the things of which you accuse him. He is innocent and should not be put to death. Therefore I will punish him and let him go." If Jesus is innocent, why should he be punished? Pilate hopes this may satisfy the hatred of the crowd, but harsh voices cry out against Pilate's proposal. The crowd is stubborn. It wants the prisoner to be put to death. At this desperate moment, Pilate has a new idea. He remembers that the Jews have a custom of freeing a prisoner each year at this time. He thinks quickly. To his mind comes a terrible name: Barabbas. Barabbas, a robber and a murderer, is now in prison waiting to be put to death. The people of Jerusalem know this Barabbas well and are afraid of him. Now Pilate knows what he will do. He will save Christ yet. He will win over this angry crowd. Let the crowd choose between Christ and Barabbas. Surely, thinks the governor, the crowd will choose Christ. "It is time for you to free a prisoner," he calmly tells the crowd. "Whom shall I free, Jesus or Barabbas?" The Jews are taken by surprise. Has this clever Roman tricked them? How can they choose to free such a villain as Barabbas? What if they do not free Barabbas? Then Christ will escape. Caiaphas and the chief leaders of the people act quickly. They move through the crowd giving orders. Pilate waits impatiently for the crowd to choose between Christ and Barabbas. "Whom shall I free?" he asks again. The Jews shout their decision. "Give us Barabbas!" Pilate is shocked. Once again Caiaphas, the high priest, holds the upper hand. Barabbas, the robber, the murderer! The crowd wants Barabbas to be free. This mob has chosen the evil Barabbas over the innocent Christ. "What, then, shall I do with Jesus?" asked Pilate nervously. Quickly, loud voices from the crowd roar back, "Crucify him! Crucify him!" Pilate's fight to save Christ is lost. The angry crowd, led by Caiaphas, has won. Pilate has tried to save Christ. He has tried all means and has failed. If he were a brave man, he could save Christ even now. One word from Pilate, and Christ would be free. But Pilate is a coward. He fears the anger of Caiaphas and the Jews. He is afraid of what his emperor might think. But before the sad eyes of Christ, this proud Roman is ashamed of his own weakness. Turning to one of his men, the Roman governor orders some water to be brought to him. When the servant brings the water, Pilate washes his hands before the crowd. "I am innocent," he says, "of the blood of this just man." The Jews laugh at Pilate's silly gesture. They stand ready to accept all blame for the death of Christ. "Let his blood," they cry, "be upon us. Crucify him! Crucify him!" Chapter 7